Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Nowadays we are going through a very important discussions of the role of military and the bureaucracy, and we are looking for over the periods of the 66 years of Pakistan history, that how the military and the bureaucracy went under different regimes, and what were the powerful among these two institutions. And if you remember, previously we concluded that over time military gained momentum due to many of the reasons. I will just explain one or two or three here. And and on the other hand, the bureaucracy, due to many of the reasons, went decaying over time. And what was the reason of this decay? The bureaucracy was being hammered by many of the politicians and the dictators over time, except Zia-ul Haq. For example, General Ayub Khan outrightly dismissed almost 1100 civil servants. Similarly, Bhutto did the same case, and Yahya also dismissed 300 civil servants. It created the resentment among the bureaucracy. The more powerful reason for their decay is that the education level in the universities and the colleges, that were the electoral, or you can say the nursery of the civil servants, it went over decay slowly and gradually. And as there was not the inputs, proper inputs, so the civil servants were not up to the required level. And up to 1960s, the momentum of the Indian civil services, it kept on, and the people who were coming into the civil service, they were very talented, and they have the patience to serve the nation. And then Zia-ul Haq tried to reinforce the role of the military, role of the bureaucracy, and he largely depended on many of the civil bureaucrats, although military was on his right hand, but he mostly tried to go with to prolong his rule with the help of the military. With the help of the bureaucracy. On the other hand, if we see, the military over time was the beneficiary of all this. Military never compromised on many of the institutions, particularly the Staff College Quetta, National Defence College Rawalpindi, National Defence University now in Islamabad. The education level was very strong in these institutions, and the faculty members who were visiting these universities and colleges, they were of high caliber. On the other hand, when there was the we talk about the bureaucracy, we see that the training institution like NIPA, NIM and others, they went under gradual decay because there was the visiting faculty, and visiting faculty has no permanent responsibility, and there is disconnection between the respondents and the visiting faculty, and there was no ultimate objective of the grooming was achieved. The other reason, for example, the low payment, the other red tapeism and many others, these were the reasons of the decay over time. So what is the conclusion? The conclusion is simple, that the bureaucracy went under decay over time. But the military, on the other hand, in the same country, under the same circumstances, it is very interesting to note that two very large institutions, otherwise you can say the governments, excluding the political system, they were the powerful pillars of the government over time. But what happened, that in the beginning the bureaucracy was at the par excellence with the military, but over time the military went under grooming, but it was the decay of this. Now we will come to that, what is the relationship between the military and the bureaucracy. आप इसको कह सकते हैं कि गठजोड़ जो है वो इनके दरमियान क्या है, because our ultimate objective is to look into the matter that how over the years the balance of power shifted from the political system to the bureaucrats and the military. So we will see, first we individually looked upon their roles and advantages and disadvantages, their history, their background, their grooming, and now we will try to link them कि उन्होंने आपस में मिलजुल के भी कुछ जो है वो काम किया है, that helped them to push the balance of power into their favor. So now we start firmly relations between military and the bureaucracy. It is definitely there should be a relation, and this relationship becomes more interesting when there are 33 years of the rule of the military. So definitely now there is a collaboration, there is some interrelationship between the military and the bureaucracy. This relation doesn't exist in many other countries where the military has never been the ruler. But in Pakistan the case is totally different, as the military has the opportunity, or you can say the military did this more than half of the history of Pakistan as they remain a ruler. So definitely they will have to prolong, or they will have to do their routine work through the bureaucracy, and definitely there was the relationship. So relationship between military and bureaucracy is determined by two factors. There are many other factors, but we will talking about two major factors that can determine the relationship, the link, the interlinkages between the military and the bureaucracy. The first is different internal process. The mechanism within both of the institution is totally different, or I can say the pole difference between this is of change into the two institution. अभी हमने जो है वो देख लिया in the previous lecture. We concluded that the military and the bureaucracy went under two different regimes, two different modes of changes, two different entities became emerged over time, because one was digging, the other was grooming. So this was one of the factor. The other is pressures emanating from civil society. Now it is you can say the huge role of the civil society. Up to 90s, you can say that the civil society was not as vigilant as nowadays. The reasons are many there: the education, the media, the newspapers, the other factors, globalization, all these have the significant role in awakening the civil society. So the now civil society that was polarized in the previous years of the up to from 47 to 90, now it's start getting united and putting pressure through media, newspapers on the government to divert their attention to the problems of this nation on the one hand, and the international environment on the other hand. दो factors यहाँ पर भी जो है they are working here. One is that the pressures emanating from the civil society, and the other is that the international environment on the other hand. International environment has also changed totally. Why it has changed totally? The reason is that there are now change of ideas, change of ideologies, and the people, I don't think that any person or any of the country, irrespective of any of its location and geography, is in favor of the dictatorship. The people say that the USA is very interested in talking with our military officers. No doubt they have their stakes, but everywhere the people are talking about the democracy. So it is generally putting on pressure on the military as well as on the bureaucracy. Why this is? Now bureaucracy is not as rude, as irresponsible as it was a few years back, because at that time there was no check and balance, but nowadays the situation is totally changed. Even police and police stations, they fear from the civil society, media and the other things, and now they behave comparatively. I am talking about in comparative time, the situation has not changed significantly, but now it is on graduate, there is a change. There have been 4 broad phases in relation between the military and the bureaucracy. ये जो इनके दरमियान गठजोड़ रहा है, गठजोड़ किसके लिए रहा है? Can you tell me? Yes, you are in a position to tell me that how they snatched the power, they grabbed the power from the people that are the political system. So 4 phases we will, phases means now by era we will divide into, for example, 50 to 60 or 60 to onwards, you will see just now. The first is 1951 to 58, very turbulent era in the history of Pakistan. And I can say that from 51 to 58, almost there were 5 to 6 prime minister that were changed in this only 7 or 8 years. Starting after the death of Liaquat Ali Khan, Muhammad Ali, Chaudhry Muhammad Ali, I.I. Chandigarh, Feroz Khan Noon, and the Hussain Shahid Sohrawardy. These 5 or 6 were just taking seats of one another, and the system was stumbling, and it looks like that the system became unsustainable. And then there was the real ruler of the Pakistan. At this time they are still full power and command and authority to rule or dictate the political system. However, now there is a thin light that the democratic institutions are getting momentum. So during this period of only 7 or 8 years was an alliance between the bureaucracy and the army through the Gang of Four. These were the people. It is not a good word to use a word for these, that the gang, but you can see that it was a group of 4 people who has dominated on the landscape of Pakistan political system. This gang was consist of the military as well as the bureaucrat. For example, who were the 4 these? The Ghulam Muhammad, that was a very experienced and old bureaucrat. That was the Governor General. Chaudhry Muhammad Ali, the Prime Minister. Iskandar Mirza and General Ayub Khan. Ayub Khan was the defense minister at that time. So these 4 powerful pillars, they were interacting with each other, and they were trying to allow the things, and they were trying to manipulate the things that ultimately led towards the collapse of the bureaucracy and the political system. In April 1953, the then Governor General Ghulam Muhammad dismissed the Khaja Nazimuddin government, even though the Constituent Assembly had given it a vote of confidence. ये एक नया स्टोरी है, उठेंगे पर्दा है बामुदर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता. This is totally a different story that any country can't match, not in a positive sense. That look at this, that the Governor General, who is you can say at the highest post, he dismissed the government of the Khaja Nazimuddin, and even the Khaja Nazimuddin had a vote of confidence from the Constituent Assembly. So it means the Constituent Assembly has nothing to do wrong with the Khaja Nazimuddin, but only one person, that was the Governor General Ghulam Muhammad. He was not satisfied with the performance of the government. It is totally ridiculous that the Prime Minister has the full confidence of the National or the Constituent Assembly, but the Governor General is not satisfied. It had happened in the later history of the Pakistan. So, and interestingly, what happened when he dismissed, the Constituent Assembly met again, and they again showed the confidence, but later they chose the other Prime Minister. And interestingly, when the new Prime Minister got the vote of the confidence from the Constituent Assembly, the Governor General, that was the Ghulam Muhammad, he himself nominated the Prime Minister, and he went one step further, that he also nominated the ministers and allotted their portfolios at that time. Look at this, the political system was not being run through proper channel, and the total, and who has the Governor General, from where he was getting the powers? He was getting the power from the military, that was in the shape of the Ayub Khan, that was the defense minister at the time, and he has the command of the Pakistan army at that time also. So this was a linkage between this. Now this was the starting point, that you can see that how was happening in the beginning, that the four pillar, the four gang, four person were manipulating the things over time. The state power effectively passed into the hands of the Governor General. अब आप ये देखें कि आहिस्ता आहिस्ता क्या हुआ कि when Governor General is making such a high level decision, so it is easy to say that the power shifted from the political system that was lying with the Prime Minister towards the Governor General, that was the Ghulam Muhammad. So now the bureaucracy role starts here, and in the next some years we will see that from bureaucracy it went towards the military, and then military never allowed it to go to slip through its hands. It has the power to manipulate the things directly, most of the time directly, and for over a long time indirectly. What happened, and the bureaucracy and military whose interest he pursued. गवर्नर जनरल जिसके पास ये बात चली गई पार जो है वो अभी मैंने आपको बताया, he nominated the prime minister, he nominated the ministers also, and he gave the portfolios of those ministers. So this was shifted towards Governor General. Governor General was getting power from the bureaucracy and the military. The function of the Constituent Assembly was reduced merely to rubber stamping his action. इसको जो है वो घर की लौंडी बना लिया गया. This was the first, you can say, the formal big shock to the political system of the Pakistan, that the Constituent Assembly means the people of Pakistan, who is the representative of the Pakistani people, that was going under decay, and the bureaucracy and the military, that are the servants of the people of Pakistan, not the ruler of Pakistan, they were getting momentum over time. And what was the role of the Constituent Assembly? Constituent Assembly went became only a rubber stamp. Like you can say that when Zia did this, he got indemnity from the National Assembly. When Musharraf came, he also, for the first term, he also got this, but unfortunately or fortunately, he could not get at the second time. In this era, one interesting thing is also, I would like to draw your attention towards the role of the judiciary, because judiciary has been under decay over the years also. What was the role of the judiciary? When the government was dismissed, the then speaker approached to the judiciary, but judiciary could not deliver the justice, and there was the invention of the ideology of the need कि नजरिया ज़रूरत बना दिया गया, that this time it is not possible, and this ideology that was given by the Justice Munir ruined the Pakistan. It collapsed the Pakistan, and over the year now there is some hope from this judiciary of Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry, who led by Iftikhar Chaudhry, that they are now trying to make amends for the previous faults of the judiciary. 1958 to 68, now total this is the era of the dictatorship, or you can say the military ruler. There was a formal military takeover by General Ayub Khan in 1958. General Ayub's all dreams were materialized in 1948. He was the, you can say, the significant player in destabilizing the political system of Pakistan, because he was on the behind of the Governor General, and he was providing power to him, and on his directions Governor General was making reshuffles into the Constituent Assembly. He was interfering into the Constituent Assembly. That's why the Prime Minister was coming and going in that area. But at the same time, it's necessary to draw, to make a comparison what was happening in the other independent state that came on the same day or one day after, that is the 15th August. India, there was the political system was stable. No takeover from the military, no threat from the military. Bureaucracy and military were always under the true control of the political system, and the people, the power of the people was dominant there. तो अयूब खान जो ये सब कुछ जो है वो कर रहे थे, ultimately in 1958 he directly, or you can say firmly, took over the reins of the Pakistan. Soon after the coup of Ayub Khan began to constitute a civilian structure of government. When there is a dictator, he always needs a civilian kind of structure that is only a puppet in his hands. So whenever he wants, he gives decision to them. The people say that it is being done by the democracy, but in reality it is not done in this way. So he gets the approval from there, but ultimately his objective is the same, that what he wants he gets from there, because these institutions are on the back end call of the dictator. He has enormous power, unlimited powers to manipulate, and he is not answerable before any of the bureaucrat or the political system, because in military he is at the higher level, he is the president at the highest post in Pakistan. Now, although by power the Prime Minister is the highest rank in Pakistan. But the constitutional head is still the president. Under this system, the president was to be elected not through direct popular vote. इसमें अब बीडी का मैं जो है वो I will not like to explain this. BD, the basic democracy is that the president will not be elected from the direct population. First the BDs will be elected, basic democrats will be elected, it will become the electoral college, and then they will elect the president. But indirectly through an electoral college of individual called basic democrats. So we have seen that the basic democrats were the electoral college of the president. Can you tell me that what is the electoral college of president nowadays? Yes, the provincial assemblies and the parliament are the the electoral college of the president, and he is being elected by the provincial as well as the parliament also. But the prime minister has no role from the provinces, he is only elected from the national assembly, who in turn had been elected through local bodies election at the village level. BD की बात पहले जो है वो काफी बार हो चुकी है. He was elected from the direct, these BDs were being elected from the local governments, as is just going to happen in the first month of the 2014 year. 1958 to 68, the story continues. The BD system in effect constituted an instrument. Ayub Khan के हाथ ये जो है वो instrument था, to which he applied very powerfully, very articulately, and very in a artistic way, that he was on showing that the people are being governed by the BDs or the local governments, but in fact he was the supreme commander, he was the president, he was the army chief, and he has the full power, through which the bureaucracy could have an outreach into the village level clans and biradris. यहाँ से सारी खराबी शुरू हुई. Now the bureaucracy was at the back and call of the Ayub Khan, that was the military dictator at that time. So now through these BDs, वहाँ पर जो जोड़ तोड़ हुई बिरादरीज की और जो है वो clans की, tribes की, that was enormous, and that was very, very ridiculous and very teasing for any of the historical students of the political science, because there was the funding for this local bodies, the whole machinery, that the police, the patwaris, the others, tehsildars, these were all helping the bureaucracy and the military to make गुगु घोड़े जिनको आप बोलते हैं कि जो है वो बनाते जा रहे थे, and they were showing that they are the true representative. That was not the reality, and through which it could maintain the political system of the Ayub regime. The purpose was to provide power to the Ayub Khan, not only the power but the legitimacy. So he was reaping the benefits on both from both ends. On one side, he was the legalized, or he was getting the justification of his rule by being elected as the president, and on the other hand, he was putting his full control and command and authority on the even at the local level through these representatives that are called the BDs. 58 to 68, the story continues. During the Ayub regime, there was a power sharing arrangement between the army and bureaucracy. दोनों ने कहा कि जी मिल बैठ के क्यों ना खाएं, क्या इसमें जो है वो फर्क पड़ता है, पाकिस्तान लूटते हैं उसको गवर्न करते हैं. एंड देयर वाज द मिलिट्री द ब्यूरोक्रेसी एंड मिलिट्री अलायंस इन 1958 to 68. If you see, there were many mafias. Now I can say that these were the mafias because when they are not allowed, they are the servant of the government of the people of Pakistan, and the servants are governing the people of Pakistan. So it was very, you can say, the strange or unique or the unprecedented phenomena. However, we faced it, and we are allowing, and we are allowing it to go, and we are praying that in the next future it doesn't happen again, because it has a very lethal effect on any of the country in all respects, its geography, its socio-economic, political, religious, sectarian, whatever the aspects or the angle is there, it has damaging effect on this. So the military जो है वो arming and military alliance कैसे हुआ, with the bureaucracy being a dominant part. Bureaucracy ने भी कहा कि जी हमें they need lion share, because they knew that ultimately all the decisions of the Ayub Khan or the dictator are being implemented through the bureaucracy. So the bureaucracy is the wheel, although the president or the government is the engine, but ultimately the car has to work on the wheels and then it travels. So the wheels were the bureaucracy, and bureaucracy acknowledged and realized that they have the very importance. So they went sat on the table. Not it means that I am sitting here and they were sitting there. It means there was a natural understanding between the two institutions. An important factor of this claim is that ये कैसे हम बात कह सकते हैं that both Ayub Khan and the military behind him recognized the experience and ability of civil bureaucracy in wielding the state power. कैसे ये हमारा जो है वो क्लेम दुरुस्त हो सकता है? Because Ayub Khan and the military, definitely military was on his back, otherwise without the military you can't do this. You can see many examples. For example, when military is not on the total back of Pervez Musharraf, you can see he is under arrest. Although military is still favoring him a lot, but still it is not formally on the front page that military says that no, they have nothing to do with. If military says they have nothing to do with it, I can assure you that he may be hanged under the Article 6, because he has suspended, he has broken the law, the constitution of the Pakistan. He deserves it, and it will be a good for Pakistan. That is not looking necessarily true in near future, but the things can change enormously. Now there is new command, and today the General Kiani is handing over his command to the Rahil Sharif after the 6 years. So these changes may come. Any of the military leader, military general, that may say that yes, they want to bring secure the role of the military only to the defense rather than the political system. So we see what happens into there. An important factor Ayub Khan और जो है वो they recognized, उन्होंने कहा कि ये बेहतर है rather than introducing the military into at the local level. Why they should not get the benefit from the experienced bureaucrats that were also under the control of the dictators. Bureaucracy at that stage could still boast of highly competent professional on ICS, Indian Civil Services. उस वक्त तक अभी सिविल सर्वेंट्स का इतना बुरा जो है वो हाल नहीं हुआ था. They still used to make boast of that they are the civil servants and they are the CSP officer. They were true, because they were coming from the institution that were the very powerful institution. Training institution were grooming them. There was large of opportunities for them to grow. Very hectic and hard training for them that used to made them a good civil servants. So this was the 1958-68 up to here. This is the cut-off point, or you can say the benchmark point. Up to here the military and the bureaucracy at the equal level. दोनों उसमें इक़्तिदार में हिस्सा लेते आ रहे हैं. Political system, both are contributing towards the weakening of the political system. Bureaucracy has its role, although not as dominant as the military, but they both have the role. And now they have decided in the 60s, they decided to work together, and it was the brainchild of the military, led by the Ayub Khan, that they should depend on the civil bureaucrats so that they could run their system efficiently. Now again, there was a very sad incident in the history of Pakistan when in 1971 the East Pakistan was separated from this Pakistan. If I go to the detail of that, why it went out of the Pakistan, away from the Pakistan, many reasons could be mentioned there, but it is not time and a context to go for this. However, this incident was due to the mismanagement, and the public administration was also. We went our army to control our people there when they were demanding the true thing. They were just calling for that they have one more seats and it is their time to be the prime minister or to make the government. But unfortunately, some of the elements were thinking that they are not loyal to the Pakistan. Ghadar qarar diya ja raha tha unhe. Similarly, nowadays, if you see, if any of the person says that the military should go into the barracks, immediately comes that he is the agent of India, USA, or the others. But still and ultimately, I assure you that the only things can change when all the players are under the control of the captain. I know you have the interest in cricket and hockey. If any one of the player is not in the control of the captain, the game cannot be won over in any of the match, because the captain, it is the duty of the captain, and the people are the captain in Pakistan. In the democracy, when we have the parliamentary type of government, prime minister is led by the people, so he should be given authority and he should be allowed to go for this. And Nawaz Sharif did his discretion in choosing the General Rahil Sharif instead of Harun Aslam. That was the most senior. We may criticize this, that what is this or that. However, it is the total privilege of the prime minister that he can choose any person from the general, lieutenant general, to make him general. So let's see whether this happens or not, whether it works or not. In the previous history, there is a very sad story that the Bhutto made Zia by superseding at least 4 or 5 generals to make him army chief, and everyone knows that what Zia did with the Bhutto. The same happened with the Nawaz Sharif. He also upgraded the Musharraf preferred Musharraf over 3 generals, and it is also an open secret that what went wrong with the Nawaz Sharif. The same story is being revised here, although it is a less intensity. Media is vigilant, civil society is now working, they are vigilant, but still the first 2 generals have been superseded, although the number 2nd has been made the chief of the chief of Joint Staff Committee. He has been made, but the real power lies with the general, that is the Rahil Sharif. So we do not criticize. It is the privilege of the prime minister. He is the public at the top public administrator. He has to run the government. He has to run the country. He knows better than the other people. So it was just decision. We just guessing like a political student that this would happen. That like in the judiciary, that after the Iftikhar Chaudhry, after December 11, Tasaddaq Hussain Jilani is going to be the Chief Justice of Pakistan. We were thinking that there should be a seniority rule, and before the election there was the slogans and the opinions of the Nawaz Sharif that he will give priority to the seniority list. However, it is totally defendable that what he did, it can be justified this. 75 to 77, very different era, because it was a new Pakistan. In starting from the 71, now Bangladesh was the old story, and the Pakistan, the West Pakistan emerged at the Pakistan. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto further fragmented the bureaucracy and demoralized. Bhutto साहब ने जो है वो bureaucracy के साथ aggressively जो है वो पेश आए. He was used to believe in the full power of the people. He was in the view that the textbook theory about the public administrator, that they are the true servant of the people of Pakistan, so they should serve the nation, and the Bhutto tried to make people more powerful, and that is the reason that the military and the bureaucracy taught him the lesson, and ultimately he has to face the consequences. But at the same time, the inroads that were made by the Bhuttos into the military and the bureaucracy, they can never be bridged. He hammered the military, he hammered the judiciary, he hammered the bureaucracy, and that was the revenge ultimately led to his death. But at the same time, he shackled these three institutions by his, you can say, the charismatic personality and on the power of the people, because he has deep-rooted popularity in the people. The appointment of politically loyal individuals in key positions. This was not a good decision by the Bhutto. Many other decisions can also be criticized. He used to give high posts that should have been fulfilled through a procedure to his loyal people, so whether they were on merit or not, but he used to do this, and it was extensively and intensively criticized over this. At the same time, an attempt was made to reduce the power of the CSP, Civil Service of Pakistan, cadre of the bureaucracy. CSP officer इस वक्त भी जो है वो they think themselves that they are the unique part of the Pakistan. They may be that the unique group of people in Pakistan, because they have come through a very rigorous procedural documentation or procedural environment, yet at the same time it should be remembered that they are the servant of the Pakistan. So what happened is, the Bhutto tried to reduce their roles because he knew he believed in the power of the people. So he tried through different ways to demoralize the bureaucracy, to demoralize the military, and to make the people more powerful. This was done first by purging 1,300 officers on the ground of misuse of power. The Bhutto has not as much power as the military dictator, so he has to choose such kind of channel that could be justified. So what he did, he said that the bureaucrats are misusing their powers. Definitely, it could be possible that they were using their powers, misusing their powers, but at the same time to just outthrow them or fire them only with one order, it is not correct. So 1,300 officers, the CSP officers, were thrown out of the services on the allegation that they are not the true servants of the people, they are not serving people, and they are misusing. No doubt the military and the bureaucracy was misusing, particularly the high-rank bureaucrats were misusing, but still there should be procedure to remove them. They have the right to go to the judiciary, they have the right to justify themselves, where it was a possibility that they may have not done that what was being perceived by the Bhutto, and fulfilling their vacancies by individual person loyal to Mr. Bhutto. Bhutto साहब के ज़हन में क्या था कि जैसे ही सीट्स खाली होंगे, he will fill them with his own loyal people. The loyalty of the Pakistan is more important than the loyalty of the Prime Minister. So it was misconception, or you can say the bad way to govern the people by the Bhutto, despite his many of the charismatic characteristic, still there are many of his decisions that we always used to criticize. For example, the nationalization. The similar thing is also here, that the bureaucracy is demoralized, the military was demoralized, and the vacancies that were vacated, deliberately vacated by throwing out of the civil servant, they were filled not through the merit, they were filled through on the one merit that the people should be loyal to the people, and this got a very technical wording, and it is called the lateral entry. Lateral entry means if you are loyal, if you are according to the expectations of the Prime Minister, you can be the civil servant and you are eligible for this. But if you are not loyal, whatsoever your merit and high caliber, you are not the being included into the service. So this was the era of 71, 72, 77. Under this system, direct appointment at all levels of the administrative service could be made on recommendation of the PP leadership. Now that there was much politicization, you can say that this is the politicization of the bureaucracy. Bureaucracy. इसमें क्या हुआ कि bureaucracy बेचारी को हिला कर रख दिया गया, and Bhutto said no need to just go by leader and leader. If any person, now these persons were definitely nominated, or you can say chosen by the PP leadership at that time. If any of the person that was loyal to the Bhutto and Bhutto believed that he is his loyal, he can recommend any of the person for the any of the seat of the, because there was the direct appointment of this. And that's why you will see that every time bureaucracy will never call Bhutto in good words, because he tried to manipulate, he tried to overcome he tried to snatch the power of the bureaucracy. तो इसमें जो भर्तियां हुई, even at the judges level, the you can say the AC level, DC level, Patwaris and the others, these were politicized, and from that the politicization of the bureaucracy started. और जब आपको पता हो कि जो है वो आपको उसी वक्त रखा जाएगा when you are loyal to the Prime Minister, definitely you will be showing your loyalty rather than to Pakistan than to the Prime Minister. By this, the bureaucracy were politicized and made amenable for direct use of political forces. अब भुट्टो के अपने जो है वो मकासद थे, उन्होंने इसके लिए ब्यूरोक्रेसी को इसके लिए जो है वो ट्रूली जो है वो उसको जो है वो यूटिलाइज किया. बाय दिस द ब्यूरोक्रेसी वर पोलिटिसाइज. वहाँ से जो है द ट्रू आई हैव नो ऑब्जेक्शन टू इन सीइंग दिस दैट द pure politicization of the bureaucracy started with the era of the Bhutto. He has an immense power from the people, and he believed in the power of the people that ultimately led him to his death. And on this perception, he tried to facilitate the people up to the maximum, and he was in the perception that this bureaucracy never allow him to serve the people. So that's why he was trying to smooth this, smooth the system that was not allowing him to reach to the people, to implement his policies to the people. Now the another era, if you start from, we started from 51 to 58, political turbulence there, 58 to 68, total military rule, 71 to 77, democratic but turbulent rule, 77 to 88, again total military rule. So अब हम ये भी देखेंगे, can we compare this rule with the previous one from 58 to 68. During this period, President General Ziaul Haq stabilized and rehabilitated the bureaucracy. Bureaucracy जो पिट चुकी थी भुट्टो के हाथों, now the Zia tried to reinforce their image, rebuild their confidence, regain their morale by making different, by introducing different intervention. The biggest intervention was this, that unlike the Ayub Khan, Zia tried to run his government through the bureaucrats, and we will see some of the bureaucrats that were the, you can say, the very powerful in the era of Ziaul Haq. There was a clear demarcation of roles. उसने सबको अपना अपना जो है वो रोल दे दिया. Clear boundaries. Now this is the boundary of this. आपको कह दिया कि जी पीपी को तोड़ें, आपको कह दिया कि जी लोगों को फंड्स दें, आपसे कह दिया गया कोड़े मारें लोगों को, आपसे कह दिया सिविल सोसाइटी की आवाज दबाएं. There were different role for this. These are all the negative terms, but at the same time there are some positive, that the inflation was very, very low in the period of the Zia. So it is also a good at this phenomena. The remittances level increase, the inflow of dollars increased due to reason, that was the reason of the Afghan war, again in which our Mujahideen were fighting against the Soviet Union. जब ये उसने किया तो four dominant, this is the different from the Gang of Four that was in the 51 and the 60, 51-58, that were the Ishaq Khan and the Iskandar Mirza, the Ghulam Muhammad, Ayub Khan and the Chaudhry Muhammad Ali. Here they are four dominant civil bureaucrats. वो सारे जो है वो ब्यूरोक्रेट नहीं, उसमें मिलिट्री डिक्टेटर, मिलिट्री ऑफिसर भी थे, that was the Ayub Khan. Four dominant civil bureaucrats, you should remember the names of these, because they have a significant role into the functioning of the government. ये एक नया तजर्बा था कि military is governing the people through the powerful bureaucrats. Military पीछे बैठ गई, bureaucrats के जिम्मे काम लगा दिए गए, and these bureaucrats never made army angry in any of their act. Who were these? The first was the Secretary General era, Ghulam Ishaq Khan. You know this person. This is a very famous person who became the President of Pakistan, and he has a dark record that he broke the two assemblies, the two elected assemblies, once for the Benazir Bhutto, the second time for the Nawaz Sharif. So he was the only president who has the privilege to send two prime ministers and their governments to the home with very small allegations that are always made here and there. The other was the Interior Secretary, Rohidad Khan. This was the very, very powerful person in the era of Zia. When he has full command, he was the interior, full control of the interior ministry, because at that time there was not the minister, because there was no the elected government. So the system of the government was being run through secretaries and you can say these are the councillors, जो कि मुशीर जो है वो मुशीर भी आप नहीं कह सकते, टेक्नोक्रेट्स जो है वो कह सकते हैं. एंड डिफेंस सेक्रेटरी हैदर ज़ैदी, Ijlai Haider Zaidi, this was also, and on one front that is the Agha Shahi front, that is the foreign front. चार पिलर आपको मैंने यहाँ पर जो है वो बताए, the four pillar of 11 years with minor changes. Ijlal Haider Zaidi, that was the defense secretary. The Rohidad Khan, that was the interior secretary, if you can say, and now the interior secretary has very much powers, but still they are getting dictation from the interior minister, that is the Chaudhry Nisar Ali Khan. But at that time there was no minister, so they were at the higher level. The other was the Ghulam Ishaq Khan. He started his career from a very low person. He became very popular in the eyes of Zia, and ultimately after the death of Zia, he became the president. And in 1956 he was forcefully he has to go home forcefully when General Wahid Kakad tried to make negotiation between the then Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif and President Ghulam Ishaq Khan. And the Agha Shah is famous for his foreign policy. He was a good diplomat, and he is recognized like Maliha Lodi. He has Sabzada Yaqub, Maliha Lodi, and this Agha Shahi. These are the twinkling star of our foreign affairs. 88 to 99. ये फिर this period is again look similar to the period of 51 to 58. इसमें जो है वो क्या हुआ? The fourth time the four prime minister came in. Twice Benazir, twice Nawaz Sharif. So it means there was the political turbulence, political instability of in the country. Difficult time for bureaucracy. Bureaucracy के लिए जो है that was a much difficult time, because although there was a weak government, but still the bureaucracy was between the fire and the deep sea. Why? In the provinces, and particularly in the large province of the Punjab, there was the government of the opposition party that was led by the Nawaz Sharif, and in the center there was the government of Pakistan People Party led by Mohtarma Benazir Bhutto. So now the bureaucracy was at dilemma that to which follow. Many times the order were given by the federal government that were totally disobeyed by the provincial government, particularly the Punjab. So at this time bureaucracy, आपने एक bureaucrat लगाया federal government ने, the provincial government refused to accept him, and the other side, if the federal government withdrew the services of any of the bureaucrat from the province, he was not, the province was not willing to relieve them. Tussle between provinces and federation. यहाँ से जो बड़ी dangerous जो है वो, this was the federation, these were the province of this. This was the bigger province of this, not bigger than the Pakistan. This is the Pakistan, the federal government. So there was a tussle between this and this that was the extremely dangerous, and it created many of the problems. Military was at the back. ये हो क्यों रहा था? वही same story जो कि 1951 और जो है वो 58 में हो रही थी. Same story was being repeated. The military was keeping quiet after the retirement of Beg, General Mirza Aslam Beg. I would like to give you some of the military journals that remain in this era. After the death of Zia, Aslam Beg, General Aslam Beg became the Chief of Army Staff. Although he got the Tamgha Jamhuriyat, but he was very, very clever, and he used to ridiculate the judiciary and as well as the political system, and he used to say that these are nothing people, but fortunately he could not get the opportunity to take over the political government. Then there was the Jahangir Karamat, the Wahid Kakad, then there was the Pervez Musharraf, maybe for some of the time there was the Asif Nawaz Janjua also, and then the Pervez Musharraf, and then the Ashfaq Pervez Kiani, and now the Rahil Ashraf. So इस सारे खेल में जो है वो मिलिट्री का किरदार रहा. असलम बेग was very clever. He used to make the governments, और आपको पता है कि जो है वो असगर खान केस में now it is crystal clear that the army used to manipulate the results to by the people by giving monies and to them. Formulating parties and helping in horse trading. ये सारे काम आर्मी ने बड़ी खूबसूरती से किए. और तो कोई काम, I can't say that they have done a lot, although they fought well in the 1965, but from after 65 we can't say that any our army has done something special. Now what they did special, they done that they used to make the parties. IJI, Islami Jamhuri Ittihad, that was made by the you can say Ashirbad, जिसको आप कहेंगे कि इससे जो है वो आर्मी की आशीर्वाद से बनाया गया. And there was the horse trading by threat, by money, by many other incentives. 1999 to 2008, this is again the era of military. क्या आप ये देखें कि if anyone else listen to me, he will say that which country is being described here? Military political government, military political government. Again there is 9 years era of the dictator, that is the Musharraf. Although we will see that from 203 to 08 there was the political government, there was the prime minister, but at the same time the president was the same. Now president was the same, that is now under arrest in the Chak Shahzad, and he is enjoying his life despite he is under the arrest. Definitely it is might is right. Dominant role of army. When on October 12 October 1999, Musharraf took over the made a coup and took over the charge of the government from Nawaz Sharif. He introduced his own policies. He was the military leader, he was the military dictator, so he introduced his own style, and the military remained the dominant. Every work was being done. आपको पता है कि Benazir was sent on exile, Nawaz Sharif was sent out of the country, making is there any you can say the agreement? It is not sure whether it was the agreement, but according to the people that there was the agreement of 10 years. So all this was being done with one person. He used to show his mukka दिखाता था, that पूरी nation को वो दिखाता था कि I am the powerful, but now you can see the situation is changed. Wrong decision on foreign policy front. The most wrong decision is 9/11. Why we went into the war on the one call of the American diplomats? This was the very wrong decision, and this decision has cost us too much on all aspects: the political, religious, cultural, socio-economic, geographic. On every front we are facing many of the turbulence due to this front. When the Musharraf were asked to be the friend or the opponent of the United States because they wanted to invade the Afghanistan, he should articulately reduce his role by this or this, but he became the front line runner, front line you can say the player in the war of terror. और आप ये देखें कि उसी दिन से war of terror has increased significantly, and now it has spread in all parts of the Pakistan. There are now, you can say, the bomb blast, there are the sectarianism, this was also there, but at the same time the intensity and the number of the frequency has increased over time. War on terror, you know what is the war on terror that there are now. We say that ये अमेरिका की जंग नहीं है, this is our own war, because we are fighting against the Taliban who want to impose their own ideology. No doubt that I am not supporting the Taliban, but at the same time I would like to say that we are indulging our army, we are engaging our army into the you can say a useless exercise. This militancy is the result of, as being done by being said by many of the political leaders, that there is a cause and effect. If you will kill the people, their relatives, their children, their forefathers, their children will become the terrorists, and they will want to get the revenge of this situation. Decline in the respect of army. ये मुशर्रफ के दौर में पहली दफा in Pakistan it happened that the army went under threat, and the army used to prefer civil clothes rather than wearing the uniform, particularly in the Kent area, or you can say in the Rawalpindi, because the people were fed up by the army, because it always ruled the people, and the Musharraf due to the war on terror. Now the terrorist was against the army, and there was the possibility that any of the soldier going through any of the Pindi or any of the district may be harmed by the Taliban. So the army, but thanks to General Kiani, who has just left charge today, that he tried his best to reinforce, to rebuild the image of the army in the eyes of the common man in Pakistan. You know that the Pakistani nation is very fond of our army, and they think that these are the true saver or true guardian of the Pakistan by making their defense. But at the same time, when you try to exploit the people, people will become against of you. The decline in the moral एंड रेस्पेक्ट ऑफ आर्मी. आर्मी की बहुत ज़्यादा जो है वो इसमें रेस्पेक्ट जो है वो गई कि अब अगर आप लोगों से जो है वो पूछें, अब यू आस्क अबाउट द आर्मी, द पीपल्स opinion has changed significantly. This is the last slide of the story, that is from 2008 to 14. I have deliberately written 14 because when you will be listening these slides, there will be the year 2014 and a revival of democracy. It is in this era, you can say that democracy is getting its roots, it's getting its momentum. So it has revived because in 2008 there was the general election, the PP-led coalition government remained for 5 years. It is useless to describe what was the performance of this political government. No doubt that the performance of this political government was far below than it should be required. But at the same time, it is a positive point, it is a green light that we are going into the right direction. Military, whatsoever you can say, dictatorship, the worst democracy is much better than the worst, best dictatorship. मैं क्या कह रहा हूँ कि जमहूरियत जितनी भी कमज़ोर हो वो अच्छी से अच्छी डिक्टेटरशिप से जो है वो बेहतर होती है. Positive role of army. As I said that Jas Kiani is retiring today from his post, and he held this post for 6 years. His role is positive. I can't say that his role is up to the standards, but in relative term to the previous military leaders, leader means the generals, he has been much different from here. A quiet man, and he has proved his worth. उसने बहुत से मौक़ों पर जो है वो काम किया है, and he overall we can say that he was a very good general, and he tried to stabilize the democracy rather than destabilization. Majority of the politician को भी अब पता लग गया कि जब बंदरबांट होती है तो बिल्लियों को कुछ नहीं मिलता. So now there was, you can say that there was a term of the friendly opposition. Although Nawaz Sharif was against the PP, and the people were saying that they should, he should protest the political against the political government, but whenever there was threat, Nawaz Sharif avoided himself, because he knew that as the political parties will come in front of each other, there will be a room and vacuum, and the army is always ready to fill that vacuum. Active judiciary. The Musharraf sacked the judiciary, but it was reinforced by the power of the people. So the judiciary also got its power from the people, and it became more active than required. And some of the decisions are made, you can say, are the appreciable. At the same time, some of the decisions are not, you can say, in the interest of the people. Although these decisions are made by the judiciary in the vested interest of the Pakistan, but it is not necessarily true that if I make any of the decision by taking that it is in the interest of Pakistan, it ultimately is in the interest of the Pakistan. And now there is, we are under another judiciary crisis, when the judiciary has ordered that the missing person should be there, and if the defense minister is unable to produce the missing person, then they will call the IGFC, Frontier Constabulary, to the court, and if he doesn't comes to the court, that is more expected, he may be asked, and the police may be asked to arrest him and to present before the court. Let's see what happens in the next few of days. Bureaucracy faces tough time from judiciary. आप ये देखें कि bureaucracy ने अगर कोई भी गलत इक़दाम उठाया, as there was a news in the media, immediately judiciary came into action by so motive. So many of the bureaucrats were shivering, you can say, the reluctant to take any decision due to the fear of the judiciary. 3 or 4 NAB chairmen, 2 prime ministers were called into the judiciary, and one was sacked. The Yusuf Raza Gilani was sacked, and you can say the Fasih Bukhari and 1 or other 2 was also sacked from the judiciary. Prime Minister and NAB chairman, ये जो है वो अभी मैंने आपको बताई, आते जाते रहे. What is the conclusion? The history of changing balance of power between the army and bureaucracy shows a rapid increase in the weightage of the military relative to the bureaucracy. So rather than giving the summary, I would like to conclude on this slide for this lecture here कि over time क्या हुआ है कि जो balance of जो है वो power है वो shift हुआ है political system से जो है ब्यूरोक्रेसी और इसके जो है मिलिट्री के दौरान, बट द ब्यूरोक्रेसी ओवर टाइम वाज नॉट एज पावरफुल एज द मिलिट्री. This shift in the internal balance of power was not only due to the weakening of the civil society relative to the state apparatus as a whole. सिर्फ इसकी एक ही वजह नहीं, लोग कहते हैं that there was the reason that the civil society was not as strong as it should be, it was quiet, but there are many other reasons that can be justified. What is equally important, due to the institutional deterioration in the bureaucracy as an arm of governance. ये भी इसकी जो है वो एक वजह है कि ब्यूरोक्रेसी जो है वो कमज़ोर होती चली गई ओवर द टाइम. So due to the weakening of the bureaucracy over time, this is also reason of the shifting of the balance of power from political government towards the military. Summary, just I would like to say 3 or 4 sentences. The first is that it is now clear that up till 2008 the state apparatus, that are the military and the bureaucracy, they have snatched the power from the political system, and they have been the true leader of the Pakistan. So true, you can say the governor, or you can say the true government उनकी जो है वो उसमें जो है वो रही. I could not remember the true word for this. The other is that the military went under decay. The military were at the growing side, while the bureaucracy was at the decaying side. But now we should hope for the best, and we should see that whether the decision of this Nawaz Sharif is in the proving fruitful, or the history repeat itself. So let me have a break, and we will see. I will see you in the next lecture. So thank you very much.